So when you think about Daisy airguns, of course the Red Ryder comes up, probably because we've all watched A Christmas Story way too many times. But before there was the Red Ryder, there was the Buck Jones BB gun, and it was a pump action.
Probably one of the most widely recognizable air guns in the United States is the Daisy Red Ryder BB gun. Not because it's a great gun, which it is, by the way, but because there was a movie that came out called A Christmas Story. And in there, the hero, Ralphie, gets his dream is to get a Red Ryder BB gun. Now, the movie itself was based upon a Gene Shepard's short story called Duel in the Snow, or Red Ryder Nails the Cleveland Street Kid. And the story was modified a little bit for the movie. The problem with the whole thing was, both in the story and in the movie, is that the gun that they're showing in the movie has a sundial on it and a compass on the butt. Well, the Red Ryder BB gun did not have that. The gun that actually did have it was the Buck Jones. Now, the Buck Jones was another Daisy product.
Imagine back in the late 1800s, looking through the Sears catalog for, I don't know, a windmill, and being, kind of come on by the premiums that they're going to offer. How many people were purchasing windmills at any given time in the country? But for the Plymouth Iron Works of Michigan, their windmill salesmen were leading the field because they were offering a BB gun with the purchase of a windmill. I don't understand this connection at all, but evidently it was a great one that has been very profitable for the descendants of the Plymouth Iron Manufacturing Company of Michigan. Because when their president was taking a survey and test firing these various premiums in the form of BB guns, he said, "Whoa, that one's a real Daisy," and thus the Daisy Air Rifle Company was born.
So from about 1888 on, the Daisy Company produced a wide range of rifles and pistols. One of the most interesting of the batch was the Buck Jones. The Buck Jones was actually the second, gun that was named after a, quote, celebrity. The first one being Buzz Barton. And Buzz Barton was kind of a kid Wild West star, and he worked in some movies and then eventually went on to the rodeo circuit. Buck Jones was much more esteemed. He basically started out as a stuntman, but prior to that, when he was 16, he joined the Army and went and fought in the Philippines and whatnot, and he led a pretty adventurous life. But again, he started as a stuntman in movies and then eventually worked his way up to being a star in B features, both silent and sound. And so Daisy figured, well, gosh, this would be a great person to name the gun after. So they decided to come up with a Buck Jones gun.
Before television, and frankly even before widespread use of radio, the way that people learned about cultural aspects and were entertained was going to the movie theater. So one of the most famous sort of, B-level actors was a man by the name of Buck Jones. He had been a soldier, he was a cowboy, and, who doesn't want to watch, horse operas, right, on a Saturday afternoon at the matinee. And so they signed him on, and there was a gun that was a pump action, 177 BB gun. That they assigned his name to it. It wasn't just, a model this or model that. No, it's the Buck Jones carbine, right?
Now, the Buck Jones gun, unlike the Buzz Barton was a lever action. The Buck Jones was a pump gun. But what the Buck Jones had, it had in its stock a sundial and a compass. To make a long story short, the Buck Jones and the Buzz Barton, the company decided to have kind of a rivalry between the two guns, and they had kind of a thing, write in which gun you like the best, and to make a long story short, at least according to the company, the Buck Jones won. Of course, it probably helped that the Buck Jones was more expensive than the Buzz Barton as well. The Buck Jones first appeared in 1934. and continued to be made until 1942. The reason that they took the gun off of the market in 42 was that unfortunately Buck Jones was killed in the Coconut Grove fire in Boston, Massachusetts in 1942. And Daisy figured it would probably be in bad taste to be producing a gun that, from a deceased cowboy star. So they decided around the same time, well, why don't we come out with another one? And so they came out with Red Ryder.
Although everyone who's ever watched the famed Christmas Story movie will see little Ralphie talking about his Red Ryder with a compass in the stock. They really didn't have a compass in the stock. Really, that gun is the Buck Jones gun that has this compass in the stock. And for collectors of them, there's variations between the compasses in the stock that only collectors of BB guns would really pay that much attention to.